Hello, in this video we will go through the main setups of the LS membership module in LS Central. We'll not go into detail in every single field in the setups, but gonna give you a general overview, and we will go pretty much into detail into the main settings. So to access the membership, you select the role of membership manager, and then you get access to the role center for the membership. You can also access the membership settings from the Explore All option in LS Central, and there you would have the membership options as one of the options. But let's just go to the role center and through the setups from the role center selections. So if we start with the membership setup, which is kind of one-time setup and defines the core behavior of the module. So I'm not gonna go into detail on every field here, but the main thing here is that you define a customer account to act like a default for any new customers created, and there it would pick up posting groups, tax groups, etc. The same applies for the new posting item. So when you create a new membership type, and you can create from there you could create the posting item, and it would then pick up the template or the settings from this default item you define here, whatever that may be. Also worth noting is that you can set the system that it would automatically create new customer accounts. So every member that gets a subscription invoice would have to have a customer account in the accounts receivables. So you can define that either to be manual. That means that every time you create a member in the LS member through the LS member features, then you would have to assign a customer account to that member if you have this set up to manual. But if you have it set here, as I do, at subscription batch, that basically means that the membership module would create a customer account for every member if it requires so. So that then you only need to create the member contact details, and from there the membership module would create the account the equal customer account as it requires when it does the invoicing. So that's kind of the main settings here, and also if you are going to use the web front or the web APIs, you would have to define the status settings for the web services for cancel, activate, and single cell activation. Then you would have to define the statuses that are going to be activated when you do this through the APIs. Enough about the membership setup card. Next I'm going to go through locations. Basically you have to create activity location for your physical membership locations. So let's for example a gym or a health club with multiple physical location. You would normally define those locations here in this settings, and when you create a new membership, it would pick up the default location based on the user that is creating that particular membership. Of course, you might have access to multiple locations. For example, if it's a health club, you might give your members access to all your clubs, but we will always keep track of the default, so to speak, location of the member, so where they are actually normally going to the health club, if as a sample. Then we have something called access points, and access points is basically if you're integrating to access system, for example, biometric scanners like the iris scanners. So then you can have automated access control, normally through some kind of scanning and opening and closing of gates. And you can define these gates and in which locations they are set, and then through the integration to access control systems, this setting is then used to decide if the member has access to particular gate. But out of the box, LS membership does not contain any integrations to access systems, so this is normally the responsibility of the partner to provide the actual integration. Then we have subscription types. Subscription types is basically to group the memberships into a batch when you're creating the invoices. So you might be invoicing certain membership types on monthly basis, you might have quarterly based invoicing or annual, or you might even have all of these. So in this sample I've just created one subscription type called month, and I'm gonna do all my invoicing on monthly basis. So we would define then the subscription type. We would then define, set the next processing date. That's the next date we're going to process this batch, and then we define the period which is going to be charged or invoiced. And then when you run then this subscription process, it would then create an invoice based on the period selected here, and then it would prepare this batch, prepare for the next batch and update these dates here, next period from and next period to. We'll see that, you can see that process in another video. Then we have a membership type, and this is kind of the main setting in the solution, because these are basically the products being sold through as memberships. And if you take a look at one product here, so similar as retail items, you have to give the product an ID or a code, which is going to be referenced for this particular product. You give it a description, and then you set up the pricing method. So default is very simple pricing, basically just a price here for the membership, which is this field here. But you could also have retail pricing, and then you can, based on the posting item, define the prices just through the normal or retail pricing on this particular posting item. And then you can access the prices through the, if we set to retail pricing, then you can access the pricing settings through the navigate here and prices. Basically it would open up the pricing for this particular posting item. In this case, the item 59610, which is going to handle all the postings for this particular membership. I'm going to change this back to default pricing and have it 100. So this would be then, in this case, the monthly charge, which is going to be invoiced to the customer. Membership can either be a main membership or additional membership. The main difference is that you cannot sell additional memberships unless the client involved in the sale is actually already having a active main membership. The posting item we discussed, and that is basically the retail item which we're going to use for all posting of revenue, and is going to be the item placed on the invoices or at the point of sale to represent this particular membership. Selling options, if we are allowed to sell this on POS only or through the web, and or both, of course. And then charge type. When you sell membership, it can either be a single sale, and then it's just you're selling, for example, access to your health club for 3 months access, and it's just single sale and paid up front. That is normally a sale that goes through the point of sale, and that would be a single sale membership. But if it's a subscription membership, then it will be going through the invoicing processes, and then the price is going to be the price that you're going to be charging per subscription process. In this case, the monthly charge. Access type can either be a period, you're selling access for a certain period, or you can be selling access for X number of visits. And if it's number of visits, then you would set how many visits you are actually allowing. And that would mean if you have access control, the access control would be passing the information of how many times the member has accessed the gate. That would update this number of times counter, and the membership will be automatically expired when it passes the number of times access. But in this case we have a date period which we're gonna give access, and membership number series, so each that's the number series each membership will get as a unique ID to identify each particular membership when we sell this product. Contract report, this is just a Business Central report which normally the partner would customize, and that might be, for example, the contract that needs to be printed when you sell this to a client. This sets if this product is active or non-active. If it's non-active, we cannot issue any subscriptions or memberships based on this product. Member club, this is the default member club for the customers who purchase this particular membership. So when I get this membership activated, my member club status might be updated as well. So, and then you can use all the standard Business Central or LS Central loyalty point generation based on member clubs. Expiration calculation, this is, in this case, this is a 12-month subscription, so we can automatically have the system calculate the expiry date. If it's just a membership that is continuously invoiced, then we would have no expiration calculation here. Fixed issue date, normally the issue date of the membership would be the day you sell it or the day you activate it. But you could also set a fixed issue date here for this particular type of membership. Here on the restrictions, we can restrict, for example, how many times this particular membership can be sold to a single client. We can set up age limits, minimum and maximum, and we can set up if this particular membership requires another membership before you can actually purchase this one. So you could have additional memberships that would still require the client that they already have another certain type of membership in place or active. Access profile, this controls to which gates this particular membership would give access to. So here we can define all the gates this particular membership would issue access to, and this is normally related to integration to access control. Allow expiry date, this is if we allow the users to change the expiry date of these memberships or not. Then we get to the subscription part, and these subscription settings are only applicable if this is a subscription membership. So subscription type, that's related to what we discussed earlier. That's how the frequency of charging or of invoicing. In this case, this is a product that's charged monthly. Commitment period, this is a calculation, for example, 3 months would define that anyone who purchases this are committed to at least minimum 3 months before they actually can cancel it. So this setting decides if the customer is allowed to cancel it, and how long they actually have pay before they actually can cancel. Price commitment period as well. When a membership is issued, it has, of course, gets in this case, the price of 100 per month. And we could define that we are not allowed to change that price for that particular client until after a certain period. So part of the contract negotiations might be that the member has a fixed price for 12 months, and after that the prices would just be changed according to whatever is the latest price setting. But we can here kind of close down any changes to the price for this particular customer for a certain type of period. A membership can have a fixed end. For example, if you're selling a yearly based memberships, then we might have a fixed end date and fixed issue date. But if otherwise, we leave this blank. Commitment period, we've discussed that, and then there's the pricing update. So basically, if we set that the price change for particular members is manually done, or if it through a special process, or if it's automatically done if you change the price on the product, if it should be automatically then updating all the members, depending of course of their price commitment period. Payment method code, that's we can set it to be fixed for this type of membership. So for example, you might have membership that is negotiated with a credit card company, for example with Visa, that anyone who purchases that type of membership would have to pay with Visa, and they would get a certain price. So this is only if you require this membership to purchase with a certain payment, well, paid with a certain payment method code on the invoice. On the charges side of things, you can then add additional products that are going to be added to the invoice every time you run the invoicing process. So I could add, of course, some product here, and this means that this particular charge would be added to the membership at time of selling, if you have the charge issued at when sold. So that means this would be an initial charge. For example, this could be charges if you have, for example, registration fees, then those could be issued only at when sold. Then the other option is that you can add lines that are all charges every single time. So that could be the additional products that you want to include on this monthly invoice. Then other features here on the card, if we take a look at those. So I can assign retail item. This is just when I'm creating a new membership type, then it would create a new retail item and add it here as a posting item for this particular product. I can review here the access setup for this particular membership, what gates it gives access to. Then we have process access. This is a process that generates the access data, which could be then exported to access control system. This process you can, for example, do when you initially set up the system. You set up the access possibilities, and then you create the export for the integration to access control systems. If we go to navigate option, price analysis, this would give you a list of what prices are ongoing in the system and which members have those prices. So you might have multiple members already having this type of membership, and they could have different prices depending on when they actually purchased their membership. So here I can see basically the distribution of the pricing and who has which which price. If we can navigate also here to members, that's just all the members that have this current membership type. And we can also navigate here to allowances. Allowances is an additional service which can be issued with each subscription. So for example, if I'm running a health club and I have a spa associated with that, and I want to offer certain members that they get, for example, in this case, a 30 minutes massage for a very good price 3 times during the month. So in that case, I can create this allowance, which is basically a price allowance at in this case, every subscription batch, every time we run their invoicing process. This is the activity product, massage 30 minutes. And I want to give them three of those. And they have to use it within 30 days of issue. So they have the month to actually purchase based on this price. 3 sessions for 20 in this case. I can set also a fixed expiry date, and I can also limit this offer to certain loyalty club members and certain loyalty scheme members. So for example, this could be issued only to those who have certain club level. We can also put restrictions of when they can actually use this particular massage. So it could be restricted that they could only use it in the morning or only during the evening, etc. So when we run basically the invoicing or monthly invoicing process and post that, and then we would be also issuing these price allowances, and the customer could then book, in this case, their 30 minutes massage and get a certain price, but only for that price three times during, in this case, during the month. So that's a very powerful option to add services and value to the membership. That was the membership type. So the membership type is obviously the kind of the most important setup, and is basically the products you're selling in the membership. Another setting I want to go through here is the status settings. So if we go through, of course, the core settings are that you can have a draft membership entry, you can have it active, it can be on hold, it can be non-active, and it can be cancelled. So those would be the kind of the internal settings. But you can have variations of these. So I can have multiple type of active membership statuses, and for example multiple on hold or multiple cancellations. So in that sense, for example, if you have multiple cancellation statuses, that might be acting like a reason codes for why it's being cancelled. Also, the status setting defines if you're issuing an email, sending an email when you, for example, activate a membership. And you can also issue automated printing, so you can print automatically a contract when you activate the membership or a specific report. And you can issue tasks, or you can define, and this is only valid for the on hold status. You can define for the period you're allowing to set the membership on hold. Also, only related to activating membership, then you define here if we issue an initial invoice at the same time. So an initial invoice would only carry the charges that are charged for the first time. That could be, for example, registration fees, and it also charges the period that you need to charge for the current for example, for current month. So give you an example, you might have charged already or done the processing already for charging the month, and the invoices are already sent out, but then you get a new member and you issue a new membership, and let's say that's in the middle of the month on the 15th. So the initial invoice would then charge for the leftover 15 days for the current period, so which you need to charge that customer since they were not part of the last invoicing process. So this issue initial invoice setting is only valid for activate status or active status. So these settings are basically the main settings for the membership. That's the subscription type, it's the membership type, and it's the statuses. For all the other options, I refer to the setups of the activity module, which the membership is then sharing. For example, the tasks, the email templates, and the locations. So this concludes the overview of the setup for the membership module. Thank you.